Everybody, it's that time again for quick tips with DSP, brought to you by the fine folks at Arc Audio. One of the things that you need or you might run into is a problem with turn on and off pop when adding a DSP into other amplifiers, whether you're integrating into the stereo or doing something with iData and or doing something with a regular preamp section. Having a DSP that has the ability to go in and do turn on and off delay is pretty cool. Well, Arc Audio has that built into their DSP software. Get to this pane if you happen to have like a Blackbird or something like that. Come over, launch the software, come over to the tool little gear icon right here. Gears, you know,
the settings.
It's settings, but gears. Okay. And the first pane that comes up on the left-hand side is turn on. Now there's 4 turn-ons here. We're going to talk about each one, but before we talk about each one, let's talk about how we're going to enter the numbers. So right now, we'll highlight the top one, which is set for 5 seconds. If I enter the number 0 and hit enter, it'll go to the lowest default setting, which is 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can't do 0 seconds. It's set for 5 out of the box, but if you feel like you want it to turn on faster for whatever reason, then you can do it to its fastest, which is 3 seconds. If you go back into it and you say, I want it to be 10 seconds. Now it's 10 seconds. What do the 4 turn-ons actually control? The first one is amp turn-on delay. Because we're talking about DSP, the DSP is going to be what is turning on first, okay? And then it's going to turn on its secondary things. In this case, the first thing it can turn on is the amplifier, whether it be external, internal, the internal amplifier, because this is a Blackbird, so this is going to be internal amplifier is going to turn on. And we could say, all right, my DSP turns on, and right now it says 10 seconds, so it's going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's going to turn on the amplifier. So that's delaying the turn on for the internal amplifier. Secondly, we have turn on out delay. Turn on out delay is used for turning on, let's say, the sub amp or secondary amplifiers in the system. When the DSP turns on, you have turn on delay and you have turn on out delay, both turn on at the same time. This one's right now set for 10. This one is set for 5. So for example, because it's an output turn on, the sub amp might take longer to turn on. And you're like, I really want everything to turn on at the same time. Mm-hmm. You can adjust the internal amplifier until you get them to both match up. Turn on hold time is the next one. And what that's for is when you turn the key off, the amplifiers are going to shut off, okay, whether it be an internal or external amplifier. But you may want the DSP to actually stay on. That's where you're getting your pop from. So this is going to hold the DSP on for that amount of time. So it can be there again, anywhere between 3 seconds till whenever you're done. The next is auto sense hold. With the Blackbirds, they have the option to do obviously DC offset, but in some cases DC offset doesn't work. So you have signal sense, where it's going to be looking at the signal in order for it to turn on. Now the problem with that, which has always been the problem with that, is if it gets really quiet for a long period of time, it might shut the amplifier off. Mm-hmm. Because it's not seeing anything. There's nothing happening. What this does is this adds a delay. So as soon as it senses that nothing there, it starts this countdown. Now this can be, default right now is 60 seconds. It can go all the way up to 120 seconds. There's one other thing that kind of pertains to turn on, and it's located in the option panel, which is auto power down amplifier. This is very helpful when you're using something like Maestro or where you have a DC offset where the DC offset stays on for 3.5 minutes or something like that. What this does is this sees that the power is still coming in because you're using it, but it realizes that there's no signal coming because it has signal sense built into it. So it says, all right, listen, we're on for no reason. There's no sound coming in. If I check that box, what it'll do is it'll say, all right, there's nothing going on, guys. And so it'll automatically power down the amplifier so that it goes to the minimum current draw faster. The nice thing is if it realizes it needs to turn back on, it will turn on so fast that you will not know that it was off.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool feature built into that. And this has been your Arc Audio DSP Quick Tips.